President Biden's shortlist to replace retiring Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is down to 3 candidates. There's word one woman is now receiving bipartisan support. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham on Sunday had this to say about U.S. District Court Judge J. Michelle Childs on ABC's This Week.
We'll wait and see what President Biden does, but I've told him and his team that if you nominate Michelle Childs, she'll be in the liberal camp for sure, but she has a hell of a story, and she would be somebody, I think, that could bring the Senate together and probably get more than 60 votes. Anyone else would be problematic.
And Niall Stanage from the White House, columnist for The Hill, is joining me right now. Niall, good morning to you. So Judge Childs is described as a liberal from Graham, but others would maybe deem her more of a moderate. What is it about her that's garnering so much Republican backing?
I think it is that sense of moderation, Adrienne. She is less steeped in liberal ideology than the other choices are. Senator Graham also alluded to her biography, and it's a very compelling biography. Some parts of it are sad and tough. She lost her father in adolescence in an apparent suicide. There are other biographical details that are more light and charming. Her first involvement with the law was when she won a beauty pageant and sued the organizer successfully for not giving the right prizes. One final point, they say all politics is local. She is a graduate of the University of South Carolina, which is the same university that Lindsey Graham attended.
Well, that doesn't hurt. The other candidates, of course, include Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit and California Supreme Court Justice Leandra Kruger. Senator Graham said that anyone other than Childs would be problematic. What is the party's key concern here?
The concern, I think, is a more liberal or more progressive justice being appointed. And I think what we're seeing here is Senator Graham sending a warning sign or a warning signal. He's essentially saying to the president, there are 2 roads here. You could choose J. Michelle Childs, and the road to nomination should be quite smooth. Or you could choose either of the 2 other candidates, and the road there will be bumpier, and it may or may not reach a successful destination. But it is really the identification of the 2 other candidates with a more ideological or liberal worldview that is the Republican concern.
Have Democrats picked a favorite out of this pool?
Among progressives, I would say Ketanji Brown Jackson is their favorite. She's a former public defender. If she were nominated and confirmed, she'd be the first Supreme Court justice in a long time to have had a long record defending people in criminal cases. She tangled with the Trump administration in her current position as an appellate judge here in Washington, D.C. So progressives would be satisfied with any of these 3 women, but it's Ketanji Brown Jackson that really gets their juices flowing, so to speak.
Gets their juices flowing. Niall, you just have a way with words, don't you?
I don't know what to say about that, Adrienne, but there we go. Do my best.
All right. Always good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.